There's a truth most people don't want to hear. Happiness isn't found, it's built. It's not a miracle, not a blessing, not something life hands you because you deserve it. Happiness is a design, a system, a set of choices repeated every day until joy becomes the natural consequence of how you live. You may feel right now that happiness is far away. Maybe life feels heavy, uncertain, or chaotic. Maybe you've been waiting for something to change, something to improve, something to fall into place before you allow yourself to feel joy again. But here's the Stoic truth. If you wait for happiness, you'll wait forever. If you rely on people, circumstances, approval, luck, or timing, you'll always remain emotionally broke, because everything outside you is unstable. Everything external can be taken away. Everything external can fail you. But the Stoics discovered something powerful. Joy becomes unbreakable when it is created internally. Not when life gets easier. Not when others treat you better. Not when the world finally cooperates. But when you learn how to think, how to respond, how to see the world, and how to master yourself. This video isn't about positive thinking. It's about rebuilding the architecture of your inner world, so that real joy doesn't depend on what happens to you, but on how you choose to live. If life has felt dark, heavy, or confusing, if you've lost your spark, if you want to wake up and feel alive again, then these 10 Stoic lessons are not just ideas. They are a blueprint, a design, a path back to yourself. Happiness has become a complicated idea in our world. People chase it like a moving target, through relationships, money, status, validation, achievements, trips, distractions, and temporary highs. Yet the more people chase happiness, the further it seems to run. The Stoics believed something radically different. Happiness is not something you pursue. Happiness is something you practice. To them, joy wasn't about perfect circumstances, ideal people, or the elimination of problems. It was about building a mind and a lifestyle that could remain steady, peaceful, and powerful even when life wasn't. Marcus Aurelius wrote that very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself. Not outside you. Not in the future. Not in things. This script will teach you how to design happiness the Stoic way, not through illusions, but through inner architecture. Through habits of thought, patterns of discipline, emotional grounding, and a relationship with reality that gives you control where it matters most. These lessons will help you clear mental noise, remove unnecessary suffering, find meaning in simple things, detach from chaos, strengthen your emotional muscles, build confidence from the inside out, bring peace into your daily life, and create joy that lasts. These are not theoretical ideas. They are practical, usable, powerful principles you can apply today and feel the difference immediately. The Stoics didn't hope for happiness. They systematically built it through clarity, acceptance, virtue, purpose, and emotional mastery. And now, these lessons will help you do the same. Let's begin designing your happiness. One Stoic lesson at a time. Lesson 1. Choose what deserves your energy. Design happiness through selective attention. If you want to design a happy life, the first Stoic lesson is simple but life-changing. Not everything deserves your energy. Not every thought, not every argument, not every worry, not every opinion, not every person, and not every problem is worth your attention. Most of your unhappiness doesn't come from life itself. It comes from where you place your focus. You exhaust yourself by giving emotional fuel to things that don't matter, things you can't control, and things that add nothing to your growth. Epictetus said, "You become what you give your attention to." So the real question is, what are you becoming? Are you becoming stronger or more drained? Calmer or more reactive? Focused or distracted? Joyful or constantly disturbed? Your happiness begins with learning to protect your inner world from anything that doesn't deserve to live there. Here's the truth the Stoics mastered. Your attention is a limited resource. Every minute spent worrying about nonsense steals a minute from peace, growth, clarity, and joy. Most people feel unhappy because their mind is overcrowded. Every emotion gets in, every comment affects them, every disappointment takes their peace, every small inconvenience ruins their day. But you can't build happiness on a mind that is leaking energy everywhere. Begin practicing selective attention. If something is out of your control, release it. If a problem is not yours, don't carry it. If a person drains you, create distance. If a thought hurts you, challenge it. If a situation steals your peace, step away. If a feeling is temporary, don't make it permanent. Happiness requires boundaries. Not walls, boundaries. Because your joy cannot survive if everything around you is allowed to enter your mind unchecked. The Stoics understood this. Peace is not found by adding more things into your life, but by removing the unnecessary. When you choose what deserves your energy, you reclaim your emotional power, and your life begins to fill with quiet, steady joy. Lesson 2. Master the morning, master your happiness, build joy before the world wakes up. The Stoics believed that the first moments of your day determine the quality of your entire life. Not because mornings are magical, but because your mind is most impressionable when you wake up, and whatever enters first shapes everything that follows. Most people start their day with noise, checking their phone, absorbing negativity, rushing, comparing, worrying, reacting. And then they wonder why they feel stressed, empty, or unfocused. Stoicism teaches a different path. Design your happiness by designing your morning. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "Your mind will take the shape of what you frequently think. And the thoughts you choose in the morning set the foundation for that shape." A Stoic morning begins with ownership, not reaction. Instead of immediately diving into the world, you begin by connecting with yourself. You choose your attitude instead of letting life choose it for you. You enter the day with clarity instead of chaos. A Stoic morning could include a moment of silence, a grounding breath, a gratitude for what you already have, an intention for how you want to show up, a reflection on what actually matters today, or acceptance that challenges may come, commitment to respond with strength, not emotion. This isn't routine. This is mental architecture. This is how you design a joyful mind before the world has a chance to influence it. Why does this create happiness? Because you are no longer starting your day from lack, fear, distraction, or pressure. You start from stability. You begin with clarity instead of confusion, peace instead of panic, purpose instead of aimlessness, gratitude instead of comparison, strength instead of reactivity. This shift doesn't just improve your morning, it reshapes your whole life. When you build joy at the start of your day, you carry that joy everywhere you go. Happiness stops being accidental and becomes intentional. A peaceful morning is not just a habit. It's a declaration. I decide how my day feels, not the world. Lesson 3. Accept what you cannot change. Freedom comes from letting go. Happiness is often blocked by a single, powerful force: resistance. We resist what happens. We resist circumstances. We resist other people. We resist reality itself. And the more we resist, the more our mind suffers. We struggle against things beyond our control, and in doing so, we create unnecessary pain. The Stoics taught that freedom and joy begin when you stop fighting reality. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you accept what you cannot change, you reclaim your energy, your focus, and your peace. How resistance steals happiness. Imagine your day is filled with traffic, a difficult boss, a sudden rainstorm, or a canceled plan. If you resist each inconvenience, your mind fills with frustration, irritation, and anger. You spend hours reacting emotionally to things outside your control. That is wasted energy. That is lost joy. That is suffering. Acceptance doesn't mean passivity or giving up. It means recognizing reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. It means understanding that some things are outside your influence, and the only thing you can master is your response. Practical Stoic acceptance. Identify what is beyond your control. If it doesn't depend on you, stop obsessing over it. Focus on your response. Ask, how can I respond with calm, wisdom, and purpose? Release emotional attachment to outcomes. Outcomes are uncertain. Your peace should not be. Practice reframing. See obstacles as opportunities for growth. Challenges become lessons, not threats. Remind yourself daily. A short mantra like, "This is beyond me. I choose my response." When you stop fighting the unchangeable, your mind unclutters. You are no longer a slave to external events. Instead, your focus moves to what you can control: your thoughts, your choices, your actions, and your attitude. Acceptance is the key to a steady mind, a mind that doesn't collapse under disappointment or chaos. And a steady mind is where happiness begins. Lesson 4. Practice gratitude daily. Happiness grows when you notice what already exists. One of the simplest yet most powerful tools for designing happiness is gratitude. Yet, in the rush of life, it's one of the most overlooked. We often wait to feel joy until something extraordinary happens: a promotion, a vacation, a relationship, or a big achievement. The Stoics saw this as a trap. They understood that happiness isn't found in the extraordinary. It's found in the ordinary, when we learn to recognize the value of what already exists. Seneca wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future." Gratitude is the bridge between a chaotic, longing mind and a calm, joyful mind. How gratitude shapes your happiness. Gratitude shifts your attention from what's missing to what's present. Instead of focusing on what went wrong, you start noticing what went right. Instead of longing for something far away, you recognize what is here. Instead of comparing yourself to others, you appreciate your own life. A grateful mind doesn't get trapped in jealousy, resentment, or despair. It sees value everywhere, in small victories, in relationships, in nature, in challenges, and in every breath. Practical ways to practice gratitude daily. Morning reflection. List 3 things you're grateful for before you even get out of bed. Gratitude journal. Write down small wins, moments of peace, or acts of kindness. Express appreciation. Tell someone why you value them, a friend, family member, or colleague. Mindful noticing. Take 5 minutes to observe the world, the sun, the air, the sounds, and feel gratitude. Reframe challenges. Even obstacles carry lessons or hidden benefits. Find one positive aspect. When you cultivate gratitude, your life shifts from chasing happiness to creating it internally. You stop believing joy depends on luck, circumstances, or approval. Instead, happiness becomes a choice, a daily practice, built on noticing and appreciating what already exists. Gratitude is not a surface-level habit. It's a core foundation for a mind designed to thrive, even in difficulty. Lesson 5. Focus on what you can control. Freedom lies in your choices. Happiness is never built by trying to control the uncontrollable. Yet most people spend their lives attempting exactly that. Controlling others, circumstances, the past, or outcomes that are beyond their reach. The result: frustration, disappointment, and emotional chaos. The Stoics understood a simple but profound truth. Your power lies in what you can control, and nothing else. Epictetus famously said, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." Your thoughts, your actions, your attitude, your decisions. These are the true sources of your strength and happiness. Everything else, external events, other people's behavior, or random circumstances, are beyond your authority. Why focusing on control builds happiness. When you spend energy on what you cannot change, you create resistance, stress, and mental suffering. When you focus on what you can change, you gain clarity, purpose, and momentum. A life designed for joy is a life where your mind is occupied only with actionable things. Choices you can make, behaviors you can improve, thoughts you can adjust. This reduces anxiety, prevents wasted energy, and empowers you to feel effective instead of helpless. How to practice focusing on what you control. List your concerns. Divide them into what you can control versus what you cannot. Take action only on what is yours. Invest time, thought, and energy into areas where your influence matters. Let go of the rest. Release attachment to outcomes you cannot dictate. Reframe obstacles. See uncontrollable challenges as opportunities to exercise resilience, patience, and wisdom. Daily reminder. Each morning, remind yourself, I can only control my mind and actions. The rest is not mine to bear. When you consistently practice this principle, life's chaos stops determining your mood. Your inner peace becomes independent of external events. You stop blaming the world for your unhappiness and start feeling empowered by your choices. Focusing on what you can control is the foundation of Stoic joy. It transforms fear, worry, and despair into clarity, calmness, and deliberate action. Lesson 6. Live in the present moment. Joy exists only here and now. Most unhappiness comes from a single source: time. We spend too much time in the past, ruminating over mistakes or regrets. We spend too much time in the future, worrying about what might happen. And in doing so, we forget the only place where life actually exists, the present moment. The Stoics believed that happiness cannot be postponed or borrowed from tomorrow. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." Joy exists not in anticipation, not in memory, not in fantasy, only here and now. Why the present moment matters. When your mind drifts to the past, you relive pain that no longer serves you. When your mind drifts to the future, you create fears that may never happen. Both forms of distraction steal energy, peace, and joy. The present, however, is where your power lies. It's where action, choice, and gratitude intersect. Living fully in the moment doesn't mean ignoring responsibilities or planning. It means engaging with life without being consumed by what has already passed or what may come. Practical ways to stay present. Mindful breathing. Spend a few minutes noticing your breath, anchoring yourself in now to single task focus. Do one thing at a time, fully, without letting your mind wander. Observe, don't react. Watch thoughts and emotions arise without judgment, then return to the present. Savor ordinary moments. Drinking tea, walking, listening. Find depth in simplicity. Gratitude check-ins. Pause to notice the life happening around you right now. When you live in the present, life stops feeling like a burden and starts feeling like a gift. You notice small joys that were invisible when your mind was elsewhere. You reclaim energy wasted on regrets and anxieties. You find that happiness is not something distant. It's always available if you step into this moment. The present is your workshop. Every choice, every thought, every action builds the life you desire, only when you're fully here. Lesson 7. Choose virtue over pleasure. Joy comes from doing what's right, not what feels good. Many people chase happiness by seeking comfort, pleasure, or instant gratification. Yet Stoicism teaches that lasting joy doesn't come from indulgence or fleeting highs. It comes from living a virtuous life. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Virtue, honesty, courage, self-discipline, wisdom, and justice is the foundation of a life designed for happiness. When you act according to your principles, your mind aligns with your values, creating a deep, unshakable contentment. Why virtue creates happiness? Pleasure is temporary and dependent on external circumstances. It fades, disappears, or is replaced by desire for more. Virtue, on the other hand, is internal, lasting, and independent of external events. When you choose virtue, you stop feeling guilty, conflicted, or regretful. Your decisions strengthen your self-respect and integrity. Your happiness no longer depends on luck, other people, or circumstances. You build a life that even challenges cannot shake. Happiness rooted in virtue is not reactive, it's proactive. It doesn't come from avoiding pain, but from facing life with courage, wisdom, and fairness. How to practice virtue daily. Self-discipline. Control impulses that lead to harm or regret. Courage. Act rightly even when it's difficult or unpopular. Honesty. Speak truthfully to yourself and others. Justice. Treat others fairly and do what is right in every situation. Wisdom. Reflect before acting, understanding the bigger picture and consequences. When you choose virtue over pleasure, your mind becomes a sanctuary instead of a battlefield. You stop chasing fleeting desires and start building lasting satisfaction. You stop blaming the world for disappointment and start designing your own life from within. The Stoics understood this truth. Happiness is not in external rewards, but in the harmony between action and values. Living virtuously creates a joy that is deeper than comfort, richer than pleasure, and more resilient than circumstance. Lesson 8. Embrace obstacles as opportunities. Turn challenges into joy. Happiness often seems fragile because we treat obstacles as enemies. Traffic, conflict, failure, criticism, or loss feels like a threat. But the Stoics saw the world differently. Every obstacle is an opportunity, a chance to grow, strengthen, and refine your mind. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, the very thing that blocks you can be the thing that builds you. When you change your perspective, suffering transforms into purpose, frustration into clarity, and challenges into joy. Why obstacles strengthen happiness. Life is unpredictable. Problems will always exist. Waiting for a smooth life before feeling joy is a guarantee of disappointment. The Stoics teach that real joy emerges when your mind can thrive despite difficulties. Obstacles are the testing ground for virtue, resilience, and inner peace. How to embrace obstacles daily. Shift your perspective. Ask, what can I learn from this? Or, how can this make me stronger? Detach from frustration. Accept that challenges are part of life. Your control lies in response, not circumstance. Break problems into actions. Focus on solutions, not the problem itself. Celebrate small victories. Each step through difficulty is a win, a moment of growth, a reason to be proud. Reflect after challenges. Write down lessons learned, skills gained, and strengths discovered. When you adopt this mindset, obstacles stop being a source of fear or resentment. They become tools, instruments that craft your character, sharpen your judgment, and deepen your sense of fulfillment. Happiness designed in this way is durable because it is not built on comfort or ease. It is built on resilience, acceptance, learning, and the understanding that life itself is a teacher. The Stoics understood this. Those who can find meaning in difficulty are never defeated. Their joy is not dependent on life's softness, but on their own inner strength and perspective. Lesson 9. Cultivate inner silence. Peace of mind creates happiness. One of the most overlooked sources of happiness is inner silence, the quiet mind, free from constant chatter, worry, and comparison. Most people live in mental noise, replaying the past, fearing the future, judging themselves, and reacting to every stimulus. This chaos makes happiness fleeting because peace is buried under the noise. The Stoics understood that joy is not the absence of problems, but the presence of inner calm. Marcus Aurelius reflected, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. When your mind is still, clarity arises. When clarity arises, joy naturally follows." Why inner silence matters. Noise keeps you reactive. Noise keeps you scattered. Noise keeps you seeking happiness in external things instead of building it inside. A quiet mind doesn't mean numbness or detachment from life. It means observing without overreacting, reflecting before responding, and finding peace even amid chaos. Silence allows you to connect deeply with your thoughts, notice gratitude, recognize obstacles as lessons, make choices aligned with virtue, build clarity, self-control, and confidence. How to cultivate inner silence. Morning stillness. Spend 5 to 10 minutes in quiet reflection or meditation before the day begins. Mindful pauses. Take brief breaks during the day to center yourself, breathe, and reset. Digital detox. Reduce the constant bombardment of notifications and media noise. Journaling. Write down thoughts and worries to declutter your mind. Evening reflection. Quietly review your day, lessons learned, and areas for growth. When you practice inner silence, you reclaim control over your mind. You stop reacting to every irritation and distraction. Your thoughts become your allies instead of your enemies. Happiness emerges naturally when the mind is calm. Joy is no longer dependent on circumstances or fleeting pleasures. It becomes a built-in part of your mental architecture. Lesson 10. Live with purpose. Happiness flows from meaningful action. Happiness is not found in comfort, distraction, or external approval. It is found in purposeful living, acting in alignment with your values, contributing to something greater than yourself, and making each day meaningful. The Stoics believed that life is short and unpredictable, and wasting it on triviality leads to frustration and emptiness. Why purpose creates happiness. Purpose gives direction to your energy and focus. It transforms routine and challenges into steps towards something larger. When you live purposefully, you wake up motivated instead of drifting. Obstacles become meaningful tests rather than annoyances. Decisions feel aligned rather than conflicted. Your mind is engaged, active, and fulfilled. Without purpose, even pleasure feels empty. With purpose, even hardship carries satisfaction and pride. How to cultivate purpose daily. Define your core values. Identify what matters most to you: integrity, growth, family, contribution, or wisdom. Set meaningful goals. Align daily actions with these values. Reflect on impact. Ask yourself, does this action bring me closer to my purpose? Prioritize time. Remove distractions and focus on tasks that contribute to your meaningful goals. Serve others. Purpose often expands when your actions positively affect others, not just yourself. When you live with purpose, happiness is no longer a distant reward. It is present in the act of living intentionally. Your mind is focused, your actions are deliberate, and your heart feels satisfaction even in struggle. The Stoics taught that meaning is the foundation on which joy stands. Now that you've discovered these 10 Stoic lessons to design your happiness, the choice is yours. Continue letting life shape your mood, or take control and build joy from within. Happiness is not a distant goal or a lucky outcome. It's a daily practice, a deliberate architecture of your mind. Every lesson you've learned is a tool, a blueprint, a principle you can apply immediately. Choose where your energy goes. Protect your mind from distractions, negativity, and useless drama. Master your mornings. Begin each day with clarity, intention, and focus. Accept the uncontrollable. Let go of what you cannot change and reclaim your inner peace. Practice gratitude. Notice the abundance already present in your life. Focus on what you can control. Direct your efforts toward thoughts, actions, and choices. Live in the present. Happiness exists only here, only now. Choose virtue over pleasure. Build long-lasting satisfaction through integrity and self-discipline. Embrace obstacles. See challenges as opportunities for growth. Cultivate inner silence. Create a mind that remains calm amidst chaos. Live with purpose. Align every action with your values and intentions. Each lesson alone can shift your mindset. Taken together, they create a life designed for lasting joy, peace, and resilience. Start today, not tomorrow, not when life settles down. Today, apply one lesson at a time, reflect on it, and integrate it into your daily habits. Let the Stoic wisdom guide your mind, your decisions, and your perspective. Remember, happiness is not a gift, it is a craft. You are the architect. You hold the tools. And the moment you begin to intentionally apply these lessons, you are already building the life you've always wanted, a life of joy, meaning, and unshakable inner peace. Take action now. Design your mind. Design your happiness. Build a life you love, starting this very morning.